Hey everyone, in this video I'm going to talk about the Nikon D80 and see if it's still good in 2019. So the Nikon D80 was released back in August of 2006. It makes it about a 13-year-old camera coming in August of 2019. The Nikon D80 has a 10.2 megapixel CCD sensor. It is a DX camera. It has 11 autofocus points. One of the cool things about this Nikon D80 is that it has an AF motor built into the camera. That means you can use the older AFD lenses such as this one or this one right here, and it will autofocus with it. More modern like the D3300s or the D5000s won't be able to focus with these lenses right here. I do have the AFS 18-70 Nikkor lens on this, and it focuses just fine. And you know what, one of the cool things about this too is that it instantly turns on. It's very quick compared to the Nikon D70 and the D50. I would say it's a little faster than my Nikon D60 that I have, and the Nikon D60 is a little newer compared to the D80 when it was released. Another awesome thing about this camera is that the control panel, you can see the settings you have, and I've always liked the control panels just because you can see your settings right away. A really good thing about this Nikon D80 is the LCD screen. It's actually pretty clear compared to the D50 and the D70, and it seems like they've made huge improvements compared to what the older models were, the D50 and the D70 that were in the mid-range DSLRs. So one of the bad things about the Nikon D80, it's not really bad, but I would prefer it to have 1/8000, but the Nikon D80 can only go up to 1/4000 max shutter speed. The shutter is still really fast though. Autofocusing is pretty fast for what it is. I think it's significantly better than the Nikon D70 and the D60. One of the other cons about this Nikon D80 is that it does not do video. So you have to look for at least a D90 to find the first. I believe the D90 was the first DSLR to do video for the mid-range Nikon class. So one of the other not really bad, but it's just really nitpicking is the Lowlight performance, and it is pretty much a 13-year-old camera, so the Lowlight isn't as good as other cameras nowadays, but it's still not bad for what it is. So above ISO 1000 you'll see some grain in your pictures, but it just really depends, like I said, how much light you have and what your shutter speed, and you know, there's a lot of factors that come into it, but still it's just really nitpicking that above ISO 1000 it's gonna show some grain. And another good thing about this Nikon D80 is that you can use a wider range of lenses. You can use the AFD lenses and the AFS lenses. With the Nikon D80 you can use AFD lenses because it will autofocus because it has a AF built-in motor. So is the Nikon D80 still good in 2019? I would say yes. Especially for its age, it's still pretty good if you can find one in a decent condition. My rubber right here is kind of sticky, but I read that online that you can find quick fixes for it, but for a pretty much 13-year-old camera, it is still really good for what it is. I would suggest it for people that, you know, want to get into photography. I would suggest this over the Nikon D50 and the Nikon D70. So this one definitely beats out both the D50 and D70. And even in 2019, it's still not a bad camera. If you're looking for a bulky camera that is good, sturdy, and reliable, the Nikon D80 is your camera to go to in 2019. I still think it's going to be a great camera to use, especially with how fast it focuses and how cheap it is. You can find it. So if you have a Nikon D80, comment below and let me know what you thought about it. I think it's a great camera for what it is, especially when it was released. This was a really great camera for what it was. Thanks for watching, guys.